Are you wondering how you can create an Arabic pattern in Illustrator? If your answer is yes, then you're in the right place. Hi there everyone, my name is Andrei Marius. I've been working in Illustrator for over 10 years, and in this Envato Tuts Plus tutorial, I'll put my experience to use as I show you step by step how you can create this Arabic pattern using Adobe Illustrator. Before we begin, make sure to check out Envato Elements, where you can get unlimited downloads of stock videos, music, graphics, including Arabic patterns, photos, fonts, and many more, all ready to use and with simple commercial licensing. You can subscribe right now with the link in the description. Let's move to Illustrator to create a new document. Select pixels from this drop-down menu. Set the width and the height to 600 pixels. Make sure that the color mode is set to CMYK and the resolution to 300 pixels per inch. And then you can click this button to create your new document. Press Ctrl and 0 to fit this artboard on your entire screen. Then go to Window in the menu bar and first of all make sure that the control panel is active. And then open all the panels that have this check mark. Once you're done, go to View and enable the Smart Guides. Then move to the Layers panel and double-click the name of this layer to rename it 12 Divisions. And then you can start by selecting the Ellipse tool from your toolbar. Click on your artboard to create a new shape. You can check this icon as we're about to create a perfect circle. Let's set the height to 463.62 pixels. Click OK to create this circle. Select the fill and remove the color. Select the stroke and replace this color with a light blue. Move to the control panel and make sure that the alignment is set to artboard. And then just click these two buttons to easily move your circle to the center of the artboard. Continue with the line segment tool and click again on your artboard to create a line. Set the length to 777 pixels and the angle to 0 degrees. And then click OK to create this horizontal line. Again, click these two buttons to move your line to the center of the artboard. And then double-click this Rotate tool from your toolbar to open the Rotate window. Set the angle to 30 degrees and click this Copy button, and then press Ctrl D 4 times. This will repeat the same Rotate command for each new line that you create. In the end, your circle should be divided into 12 equal parts. Lock this layer to make sure that you will not select or move any of these shapes by accident. Add a second one using this button. Let's double-click the name and rename it Hexagons. Replace the stroke color with orange and select the polygon tool from your toolbar. Again, click on your artboard to create a new polygon. Set the radius to 231.83 pixels. Leave the number of sides set to 6 and click OK to create your polygon. Again, move it to the center of the artboard. Double-click the Rotate tool and set the angle to 30 degrees and click this Copy button just as you did with the line. Get back to the Layers panel to lock this layer and add a new one. Rename it Squares. Replace the stroke color with red. Reselect the Line segment tool from your toolbar. And this is where the Smart Guides will help. Start a new line from this exact point. Go down and release the mouse button only after you get this anchor Smart Guide. Continue with a parallel line from this point and finish it in this one. And then you need to create another two lines which will connect your two red lines. Once you're done, press Ctrl and A to select all of these lines. Double-click the Rotate tool. Keep the angle set to 30 degrees and click the Copy button, and then also press Ctrl and D to repeat this Rotate command. Again, lock this layer and add a new one. Rename it Squares 2. Replace the stroke color with yellow Reselect the line segment tool and use it to create a line starting from this exact point. Finish it in this point. Continue with the parallel line. Then connect your yellow lines. When you're done, press Ctrl and A to select all your yellow lines. Double-click the Rotate tool. Keep the angle set to 30 degrees and click this Copy button. Also, press Ctrl and D to repeat this Rotate command. Press again Ctrl and A to select all of your yellow lines. And go to Object, Transform, and transform each to extend the length of your selected lines. Just increase these scale values to 300%. Click OK to apply this change. Lock this layer and add a new one. Rename it Squares 3. Replace the stroke color with green. And reselect the line segment tool to create some smaller squares. Start from this point and finish your line in this point. Continue with the parallel line. Then connect your two green lines. Again, press Ctrl and A to select these four lines. Double-click the Rotate tool. Keep the angle set to 30 degrees and click this Copy button. Also press Ctrl and D to add one more set of lines. Press again Ctrl and A to reselect all of your green lines. And go again to Object, Transform, and transform each to scale your green lines. Keep these settings and click OK to apply the changes. Again, lock this layer and add a new one on top of it. Rename it Parallel Lines. Replace the stroke color with a darker blue. Reselect the line segment tool from your toolbar, and this time use it to create a line starting from this exact point. Keep in mind that you can hold down the Shift key as you click and drag to easily create a vertical line. When you're done, switch to the Selection tool, hold down the Alt key and drag a copy to the right in this exact position. Remember that you can also hold down the Shift key as you click and drag, which will constrain the movement of your copy. So let's place it in this exact location. Now select both of these lines. First of all, increase the length to 646 pixels. Then make sure that the alignment is set to artboard and just click this button to move your lines to the center of the artboard. And then just as you did with most of the lines, double-click the Rotate tool, keep the angle set to 30 degrees and click this Copy button, and then press Ctrl and D 4 times. Return to the Layers panel to lock this layer and add a new one. Let's rename it Circle 60. And select the Ellipse tool from your toolbar. Use it to create a circle between these two lines. Remember that you need to hold down the Shift key as you click and drag to easily create a perfect circle, and follow the smart guides to make sure that your circle stays between those two lines. When you're done, switch to the Selection tool and move your circle in this exact location. Hold down the Alt key and drag a copy of this circle in this position. Press Ctrl and A to select both of your circles. Again, double-click the Rotate tool and this time set the angle to 60 degrees. Click this Copy button and also press Ctrl and D. Return to the Layers panel to lock this layer and add a new one. Rename it Hexagon. Replace the stroke color with purple. Select the pen tool from your toolbar, and using the smart guides, let's create a hexagon which connects all of these tiny circles. When you're done, you can lock this layer and add the last one. Let's rename it Line Work. Replace the stroke color with red and increase the weight to 4 points. Make sure that the pen tool remains selected. You can hide these layers to make things easier. Press Ctrl and plus to zoom in a bit on your design, and let's create a new path. Start from this point, go up and add the second one in this point, move to the left and add 2 points like this. Again, go up and add the next point in this location, move to the left and add 2 points like this. Go down and add another 3 points like this, and finally end your path in this point. Remember to press the escape key to finish creating your path. Switch to the selection tool and select this entire path. Go to Object, Transform and Reflect. Check this vertical box and click the copy button to add a horizontally flipped copy of your path. Hold down the Shift key and let's drag it in this exact position. Deselect your path and turn back on the visibility of these layers. Reselect the pen tool from your toolbar and replace the stroke color with black. And now let's create one more path starting from this point. Move to the left and add 2 points like this. Then move to the right and add another 2 points like this. And now you need to mirror this side of the path. Make sure that you're closing your path like this. And now that you've got all of these paths, let's press Ctrl and A to select them. Select the Rotate tool from your toolbar, hold down the Alt key and drag this reference point in the center of your artboard. Once you release the mouse button, the Rotate window should open. Set the angle to 60 degrees and click the Copy button and then press Ctrl D 4 times. Now that you've got this design, feel free to hide all of these layers. Press Ctrl and plus a few times to zoom in on the center of your design. Switch to the Direct Selection tool and use it to select one of these pairs of anchor points. Press Ctrl and J to join them, and then repeat the same technique for the rest of these pairs of anchor points. Once you're done, you need to get rid of these sharp ends. Press the minus hotkey to quickly activate the Delete Anchor Point tool, and just click one of these overlapping anchor points to remove it. When you're done, you can hold down the Ctrl key and click outside your selection to deselect it. Press Ctrl and minus a few times to zoom out and have a look at your entire design. And let's focus on the swatches panel to save the colors which we'll use to color this pattern. To save your first color, just click this button to open the new swatch window. Change the color mode to WebSafe RGB and replace the code with AF 99 and 84. You can rename this color Mocha and just click OK to add it inside the swatches panel. Click again this button to add the second color. Again, change the color mode to RGB and replace the color code with 6E, BB, and CD. Rename this color Aqua Blue and click OK to add it next to your other color. The next one should be named Sky Blue, and the color code should be 49, A3, and C1. Click OK to add it and continue with the next color. Rename it Blue Gray and set the color code to 91, B1, and BD. Click OK to add it in the swatches panel. Blue one is the next one, and the color code is 15, 60, and 88. After blue 1 comes blue 2 with the color code 39, 80, and A9. Next is dark blue 1 with the color code 12, 49, and 81. Continue with dark blue 2 and set the code to 21, to F and 61. And finally, you have light gray with the color code E1, E5, and E4. Click OK to add this final color. And now that you've got all of these colors, let's hold down the Shift key to select them all and just click this button to move them inside a separate group from the swatches panel. Press Ctrl and A to quickly reselect your entire design. Increase the stroke weight to 7 points and replace this color with this one. And then press the K hotkey to activate the Live Paint bucket, which we'll use to color all of these empty spaces. Start by selecting your first color from this group, and using simple clicks, fill all of these empty spaces. Once you're done, press the right arrow key, which will move you to the next color from your group, and use it to fill all of these sections. Continue with the next color and fill these empty spaces. Move to the next one and fill these tiny spaces. Use the same color to fill these sections. Continue with blue 1 and fill all of these sections. Move to blue 2 and fill these empty spaces. Dark blue 1 should be used for these empty spaces. And finally, dark blue 2 should be used to fill the center of your pattern. Now that you've colored your design, let's see how you can save it as a pattern. Keep it selected and go to Object, Pattern, and Make. This will open the Pattern Options window where you can set the settings for the pattern that you're about to add inside the Swatches panel. For the beginning, you can rename your pattern. Select Brick by Row for the tile type. Keep this brick offset. Check both of these boxes. Set the horizontal spacing to -1 and the vertical one to -70. Keep the rest of the settings as they come, and then just click this Done button to save your pattern inside the Swatches panel. Finally, let's see how you can apply this pattern. Select the rectangle tool from your toolbar and let's use it to create a shape which will cover your entire artboard. Again, click these two buttons to move your shape to the center of the artboard. Select the stroke and remove the color. We'll keep this fill color and add a second one using this button. Make sure that your top fill is selected and simply apply your pattern from the swatches panel. If you're not happy with the scale of your pattern, you can always resize it using a transform effect. Just make sure that the fill with the pattern is selected and go to Distort and Transform and Transform. Remember to uncheck this box and keep this Transform Patterns box checked. And then you can play with the scale settings to resize the applied pattern. Click OK to apply the effect. You can always return to this effect and make some adjustments. And if you wish to edit your pattern, remember that you can always double click it and you can adjust the settings from the pattern options window or even the colors. Just remember to always click this Done button after you make the changes. With these final touches, your design is complete. If you're keen to learn more about Illustrator patterns, feel free to head over to the Envato Tuts Plus website, where you can find plenty of pattern tutorials. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Remember to hit that like button, as it lets me know that I did a good job. Subscribe if you aren't already, and don't forget to click the little bell icon to be notified of any new tutorials. I'm Andrei Marius, and I'll see you in the next video.